how to enable the AAA service. Giving the command AAA new model. Okay, after enable, I have to give the authentication process. So how do I enable the authentication process? By giving AAA authentication. So now I have two options to add up with the group or to add up with the local database. Yesterday we have done about the self-contained AAA. Today we will do about the external ACS server. The external ACS server which is connected with the ACS with the client. We are doing the configuration for the NAS. Okay. So for authentication, I'll do for initially do for login. Login means whenever I want to do the authentication for login, for all the lines, all the default lines, I'll use the group. Where it fetch from the group, how it fetch from the tag either from the tag or from the radius. So before I am giving the group, I need to configure the tag as well as the radius if I want. So how do I configure tag TACACS server, and I have to give the host IP. Suppose the host IP is 192.168.1.25. Still I can stop over here also. I can give the key here. So I can give the key here. Key, and I can give the single connection. I can give the timeout. This timeout we'll see it later. Timeout and NAT. Initially we can give the key. This key should be matched up with the ACS server. Okay. So I can give the key either over here, like Raghav is the key. Suppose if I type there, Raghav 123. Okay. Else I can give the key like this. I can give key over here. But either way, I can give the key. So what is the difference between this and this? Suppose I have TAGX server. For the particular TAGX server, a key is Raghav123. Suppose if I have the next TAGX server, the key is different. Suppose I have to use the command like this. If all the TAGX server having the same key, I can use the command TAGX server key Raghav123. Once I configure the same way, we have to configure radius by giving radius server host and the key in the same way only. There is nothing like different. Then we'll go for AAA authentication. AAA authentication for login I am doing for default. That means it means that it apply for all the lines. Then I am asking for the group to authenticate from where the username and passwords are fetching from the ACS server by using which protocol? Tag. If I'm giving this one tag ax as well as the radius, or else I can give the server group name. This server group name will learn later. Will you use about the radius or tag plus? I don't want to give tag plus. If I'm giving tag only, it will take it as a tag plus. If suppose this tag is getting failed, it can fetch the information from the local. Okay. If suppose the local also fail, if I am giving question mark, I can still enable, or else I can give none. If I am giving none, it will not ask me any password. If I am giving enable, it will ask the enable password. If I am giving enable. Okay, what we will do now is we will enable a password. So as per our command, I want to do the authentication login for all the lines. It have to fetch from the group by using the protocol TAGX. If this is failed, I have to go for local. If local is failed, it have to go for enable. So in my router, there is no TAGX. I have configured TAGX, but TAGX server is switched off now. And there is a local. I didn't give any username password in my local database, so you have to ask the enable password, right? So I will give exit command. So it have to ask me the password. Username I didn't give it. should not have to give local none only I should have given. So the previous command I have given the local database if failed. I didn't give the username and password only. So if failed, it will be asked for enable. Okay. So I didn't give the username and password, so it got locked. So next we have given to do that one from TACAX I have told. So I will take that one out, show run, or else I will give username and password. User Raghav pass Raghav. Now we should have to ask, right? Now I will exit it. We'll do the same command. Triple A new model. Triple A authentication for login. I'm giving it to all the lines for group tag hacks. I'm telling get it from local. If not, enable. Okay. I'll give the enable password also. Enable pass. I will use the enable pass next time. Exit. You have to ask me the username and password. Username is Raghav and the password is Raghav, and I have given enable password as Raghav. Okay. So if suppose the group tag access failed, if suppose the tag access failed, it should not have to ask any username and passwords. So what should I give for that? I have to give none. I'm giving here. So I'm going to take it out the local. I'm going to take it out the local and the enable. I have the option none here. So I will give none. So the group of tag access failed now, going to fail now, and it have to ask any. It should not have to ask any authentication. So I'll exit out from this router. It didn't ask me anything. Enable config. Sorry, enable. This is the enable password. We have given enable password Raghav for authentication in the starting login. I didn't give it for enable. If you want like that, see suppose AAA authentication for enable, you can give it for all the lists, all the lines directly. Even though you have enable password here, you are telling to the AAA, don't ask anything. Enable password assignment suppose if you don't want to happen that one, it doesn't want to ask this enable password. You have given enable password, so you don't want to ask me, so you give none. Still you can fetch it out from the group tag X for the enable password. Okay. If suppose tag is not working, you can fetch it out from the local database. You should not have to give the local database if you are enabling it from there. And still you can give the enable password also, because still enable I am giving it for enable. I can start. I have already given enable password only, so I don't want to give again enable only. Okay. You can give local, else this is failed. I will give none. So it will never ask me enable password anymore. Then we'll go for authorization. So in authorization we have seen about the console, config commands, commands in, as well as execute. So first thing we'll see about the execute. Authorization. Okay. Here we will see about the execute, config commands, and the commands. Okay. Commands, config commands, and the console and the execute. First we'll do for execute. What is my execute? For starting and execute in the shell, wherever your commands is in. That means wherever you can do the configuration commands, that is I'll call it as shell. Okay, you can execute into that. I'm giving an authorization to execute inside the shell. For which line I'm giving? For all the line, that means default. I'm telling it to fetch the information, that means username and passwords from where? Tagax. Still, if it is failed, I can tell the router to fetch it out from the local database. If this also failed, I can fetch it out from enable. If this also failed, I can give none. There is no need. If there is a this is failed, I can give directly none. Suppose I am not giving for the default list, I am giving for a separate list called Raghav. The name of the list name is Raghav. I am fetching it the information from group tagax. If that is failed, I am telling it to none. There is no need to ask any passwords, no authorization. Okay. So how do I call in the particular lines? I have to line. Suppose if you want to I'll call it in the line console 0 line bty. I'll call into line console 0 and I'll tell authorization. Now what should I tell? I have to tell execute Raga or execute group Raga group. I want to tell whether I am going to do with the command, I am going to do with the execution. Okay, or so I am typing execute for the list name Raga. So without the global command triple A. Oh, okay, sorry. Triple A authorization. Okay. This execute is only supported for commands, not for the execution. We'll try it for the commands. Triple A authorization. I am trying it for commands. So commands I have to tell the privilege levels. Correct. Privilege level I am telling 1. I am doing the same thing for Raga. I am telling to fetch it out from the group tagax. So now I'll go into line console 0. Still this have to work. Authorization commands 1 1 Raga. This I'll sort it out. I'll tell you tomorrow. We'll try to implement in line VTOA 0 to 4 the same thing. Authorization commands 1. This is taking. There's some issues coming. Authorization with the global command triple authorization console is useless. I'll check it out this one. I'll tell you tomorrow. So once you've made the authorization for the commands, you can give like this commands 1 Rago. We'll try it for execute also. Authorization execute for Rago. It's also working for line VTY. For line console, I'll check it out and I'll tell you tomorrow. So for authorization, you can give commands, you can give execute by using the different list names as well. Then we'll go to authorization. In order to not to lock down the router, we can give directly to authorize the particular console directly. To authorize the console directly. Without fetching from tagax, without fetching from enable, without fetching from anywhere, I am telling AAA authorization to do the for the particular console directly. Okay. Once if I did this, I'll try again the same command console 0. Yeah. I have to give the authorization initially for the console, then only I can give it to the line console 0. Then I can call the same list name inside the console 0. I can still call the same authorization uh, execute for the list name is okay. Now this will work. I am telling authorization to do for the whole console only. Exit AAA authorization. We have only one thing left. Commands we have used, console we have used. See, for enabling the console authorization, we have to enable the console authorization before, then only we can call the authorization in the console. For line video there is no problem, and execute also the same, and we'll use the config commands. So if you are giving authorization for the config commands, it will give the total authorization in the configuration mode. It will give the whole authorization to do any commands inside the configuration mode. I can give config commands directly. This will enable to give this will enable the like your privilege level or configuration, like whatever you want to do the configuration inside the configuration mode you can give. Okay, once you give the authorization, then we will go for AAA accounting. In AAA accounting also we can give execute as well as commands. Okay, first thing we'll see about the commands. Execute we have, commands we have. .1x is for the wired connection, so we'll do it for commands first. Commands, wherever you type, don't forget you have to enter the level, privilege level. So I am entering for the privilege level 4. Now what should I want to tell? Will I apply in all the thing, like all the lines, or I want to apply in the particular line? Suppose I want to apply for the all the lines, I can give default. If I want to particularly enter for the particular line only, I will give Raghav 1 2 3. Okay, after this, where should I fetch it information from the username and passwords from? From the group tags. If this is failed, I will give none. Or else you can give the local. Okay, so what this exactly do? It will do accounting. I didn't even specify that where to start and where to stop. And I have to tell whenever this person is enabling and giving authorization, I have to record it. So if I am giving the question mark over here, there is an option start stop, or stop only, record stop when service terminates. Whenever you are terminating the service, that time only you can stop the record, or you can record the start and stop without waiting for. I'll give start stop where I want to get the information from the group tags. Then I'll go for none. If suppose that is file, I'll go for none. That's all. I cannot give none here. I can use the another group radius. If this is fail, I can go for another group. Then after accounting I have did, I have to call it in a particular line, because I have called here as in the for a particular list name. So I have to go inside line console 0. Okay. Then I'll call this commands. How do I call? Accounting commands 4 for Raga 1 2 3. Okay. This will start the accounting for the particular privilege level, for the particular username and password. Okay. So how do I do the parser view? How do I generate the parser view? How do I generate the parser view? First, I want to start the AAA new model. Already we have started. This is for your knowledge. Initially, you want to start the AAA new model in order to go for the parser view. Now, I will type enable view. What has came here? I am enabling the view. I will stop the AAA service. So once if I am given the enable view, it will be asking me the password. Before that enabling view, you have to give the enable password. Then automatically you will be switched out into the parser view. So which you will get the root level access. Okay. Now now we'll go into the configuration mode. We'll create a parser view. Parser view. I am creating it for. So parser view has been created. Okay. Once if it is been created, view Raghav has been successfully created. Once if I have been created, I have to immediately give the secret, and after that I can proceed. Okay. For if don't think that you are inside the view. For the particular view, you are giving the secret actually. So secret, try to make a habit of keep giving 0. Okay. Raghav. Okay. For the particular view, you have given the secret. Then after that you can give the commands. That means it's followed with an unencrypted plain text. Have a habit of writing 0 and 5 as well. Okay, commands. I can do lot of things with this. In CCNA we have only execute. Okay, commands, execute. We have three options: include, exclude, and include exclusive. So I'll include some command like ping. Okay, if you want to include all the commands of show commands, all show commands. Okay, if you want to include all show IP commands, if you want to include trace routes, include trace route. If you want to exclude something, you can still exclude. Okay, once if it is done, exit out, exit out, exit. Okay, enable. Now we want to, or if you want to see the same view, suppose you want to go to Raghav view, enable view. The name of the view is Raghav. For the Raghav, I have given the secret as Raghav only. Raghav. I went inside this view. So what is this view? Parser view switch successfully to set view. The level is Raghav. If I am giving the question mark, these are all the commands which I can able to do. Okay. If you want to give all show IP commands, you want to explicitly show IP route like that. So here I have given trace route, I have given ping, I have given show. So all the show commands, all the trace route commands, all the ping commands I can do it. Okay. So these are all the commands that is executable in this particular view. Okay.